Yeah, we haven't been in the gym much, obviously, with the schedule. So, and we'll need to go light today, especially. Well, we will go light with our kids that played a lot, and then we'll go pretty hard with the kids that didn't get on the court, and then we leave tomorrow morning. Hinkle's always a tough place to play. It's always a fun place to play. Although us old timers, my players don't even know what the Hoosiers movie is. I have to tell them about it, so that ages me every time we go. So we're excited.
Have you watched Marquette back yet?
I have not. My staff has.
I'm curious how you feel about performing the way you did. We obviously know that, but controlling a team of that caliber despite it.
I just haven't locked into who is on the other side. I'm much more locked into what we're doing. So I got some evaluations from my assistants today on what they thought. Some thought we played better than I thought we played when I saw it first. And then, others thought we just weren't making the special plays that I always call them special plays, the really tough plays. So, I think that's our job as coaches, is to recognize the difference between when we're good and great or bad. And that's what we'll continue to do.
Because that is kind of what your battle is at this point, right? It's you versus you a lot of times.
Mm-hmm. It is.
I guess, how close to your standard did you feel like you were last night?
Again, I haven't watched the film yet.
Yeah.
I've got to get up to par on Butler right now. That's where I'm putting my energy. I will watch it. But from the eye test, I didn't think that we were where we needed to be consistently last night. We played some great points. Marquette's a great team. They made had some great points. And it may have been first contact driven. I think we missed a lot of serves and we got aced a lot or had bad passes. So that's what I have to identify was our play disrupting us, or was it our first contacts, which is obviously part of our play. But, identifying what we have to get better at. I thought there were some particular specific types of serves we struggled with. So we'll go to the gym and we'll work on those sort of things.
I know if you think back to a month and a half ago, you were like, if we can go undefeated in non-con, maybe we have a chance to host a regional down the road. And so the non-con was about building your resume, and then you mentioned the second season, if you will. Bigger picture, what's the second season about for you guys here in Big East play?
Yeah, I think it's multifaceted. First of all, we want a big East championship. We want to earn the regular season outright championship. So how do we get there? What do we need to do night in and night out? We've got to be clean. We have to make sure, all the things that everyone knows that they have to do. So that's one goal. Another goal is to put ourselves in the best situation to host and, be in that regional host mix. And all those things, some of those things are out of our control at this point. So we have to deal with what we can control. And then as coaches, we need to challenge our players to prepare for a top 4 team in the country in our practice gym. And so those are the things that we're discussing right now as coaches, is how do we focus on this weekend, but then how do we prepare for December simultaneously?
Is that tough to do, the balance?
It is sometimes, because sometimes I get caught in the weeds. I'm locked into who we're playing Friday, and one of the things I'm really challenging myself and our staff to do is think a little bit bigger picture so that we're not surprised by the level of play when we hit the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, I know a lot of it's going to be dictated by, obviously, the opponent on Friday, but, Hinkle's a different arena than you guys play in. A lot of the sidelines are, just different. Obviously, those matches have been epic sometimes. What kind of challenges are you anticipating, maybe even for players that haven't been in that environment yet?
I think, you have to get used to every facility. I think it's a little different because it's so cavernous on the sides as compared to the end zone. But they'll adjust. I think sometimes it's a safety hazard because it's an elevated floor. And when Kendra waits your setter, everyone's in fear that she's going to do something crazy. So we have to put some barriers for her to understand that launching off the sideline is not a good choice. So I will sometimes make, and I mean this sincerely, I'll talk to players about hazards. Kansas, I will talk about hazards. That's a small facility. There was lots of hazards in that facility. And the players will say, you are talking to one player, coach. We know you're talking to one player. And I'm like, no, I'm talking to everyone. But Kendra, you probably need to listen a little bit more.
What's your read on Butler so far this year? I mean, I imagine they haven't had the seasons that they want to this point, but you're coming in there, Jim.
Yeah, I haven't talked to Kyle specifically, their coach, but I know that I think they're a little disappointed on how the season's trended so far. I think their top outside has been out all season, so we have to prepare for her to potentially be back. I don't know what her injury is. I don't have any idea, but I mean, obviously as coaches, we have to prepare for that. And you lose a top scorer, that's going to change things pretty quickly for a team like Butler.
How dangerous is a team in that position, especially when you're going into their gym? Like
A team that might have somebody come back?
a team that just is kind of just in desperation mode and looking for a lifeline for their season, I guess.
I think it depends where they are psychologically. If they're still bought in and they believe, those teams can bite you pretty quickly. The flip side, if a team has given up, they can roll over quickly. So, again, we can't determine where they are mentally, right? We can only determine how we perform, and that's what we'll be focused on.
In light of Hoosiers, if I gave you 53s from the top of the key, how many would you hit?
This age Kirsten or 16-year-old Kirsten?
Yes.
I would make 0 now. No. I'd make a couple now. I would have made 20 back in the day, maybe.
Okay. That's not bad.
I liked basketball. I just didn't like people getting in my way. I could have shot all day if people would just stay out of my way. That's the next sport, like just shooting bat. They do that all the All-Star stuff. So, thanks, guys.
Thank you.